So guys, I've finished up setting up the knobs. So let's see up here what we have got here. So all the joints I've set up the 5 knobs point. Let's select this, let's put it on a geo, and let's select it again. For all the joints I put the 5 curves, 5 knobs points, and for the joints for the thumb I have just created a fourth CV because we are just going to place a 4 joint on this thumb. So let's it up here. Okay, and let's just for the visual representation. Okay, so we have finished up with setting up our reference curve, and now let's get started and put some joints up there. So first we are going to hide the geometry because we already know the place where we are going to set up the joints because of the reference curve. So I think I really need to tweak up this a little bit. Control cortex, I think this will go a little further. Okay, so let's hide the geometry. Let's go to select this and let's what we can do this is go to come out from a component mode. So let's create a joint first. Let's create a joint for leg. So to snap in a vert, press V key on your keyboard, then create a joints 4 5 6. Okay, now let's create a joint for a pelvis. Okay, then let's create some joints for a spine. What we can do is create a joint, or select up here. Okay, it's going to select the pelvis, so let's hide it for a while. Control H to hide. So what we have got up here is 1 2 3 4 5 6 joints. So let's create 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, then let's create first for a hand. Press V key on your keyboard. Okay, and let's create for a soldier. Okay, then let's create joint for a neck. For that, let's hide this joint because it is going to come in the medial. So let's create hot snap. Okay, then I think it's okay. Let's create a joint for a head. So let's hot snap up here. Let's hot snap up here. Okay, and let's create a joint for jaw. Okay, and let's parent this jaw joint to the bone, parent it. So when the head moves, jaw also move along with it. So we have created a joint. So let's go to outliner and unhide this both joints. Shift H to unhide. Okay, so now we have finished creating a bone. So what's most important thing when you rig the character is the local rotation axis. So let's see the local rotation axis. There are two ways of seeing local rotation. Go to display, I think transform display, local rotation axis. I have created a cell up here. It's a toggle button. Or go to component mode and go to local rotation axis. if you can see up here is a local rotation axis. Okay, local rotation axis. So our local rotation axis is now just looking messed up. So what we are going to go to skeleton, orient join, and XYZ is right, and I think minus Y. And let's display its LRA. I think select HI, and let's display the local rotation axis and apply. I don't think it's going to plus Y. Okay, almost all the joint look perfect except this need to. So what we can do is hide all the LRAs and okay, LRA, and let's go to component mode and let's select this one and let's move it on X to minus 180. Okay, we can place like this, but what we can do is we can go to our self editor, copy the last command, Control C, and then hit Control V and hit 180, because I think we are going to need 180. So let's hit 180 on X. So now it's going to be in a proper place. So it's the LRA is in its proper place. Let's close the local rotation axis. For this last joint, we don't need, it doesn't matter where it is facing toward, because it is not going to be bound with the geometry. So just let's, for a visual representation, let's try to make it like others. So okay, let's leave it the way it is. It is not going to do any hamper to us. So now we have finished the setup local rotation axis, and what happened is if we move this, now it's going to move in a proper direction. All the joints are going to move in a proper direction. See, except this, the last one. So let's recheck it again. So it's working properly. So when we have finished setting up local rotation axis for the leg, let's do it for the hand. It's Y up and G down. It's looking quite perfect, but the way I use is Y facing downwards and Z facing upwards. So let's select all of these and let's move them downwards in 180. What, just to get the last script you uses, you just go to hit to mail, hit up arrow and hit enter. Okay, when you hit up arrow, you will get a last command you have used in your mail window, and hit enter to get those commands to be executed. Let's just fix this also. Okay, now let's go and okay, we don't need these curves right now. So control group it and hide it, name it area underscore series, and okay, it's facing toward G. What we are using is a Y facing upwards. So let's go to, I think our, let's go and hit let's see, let's hit select HI, CL, select it all. Let's displace local rotation axis. What we are going to need is skeleton, current join, apply, YGX, G facing outwards. That's not going to work. Okay, we need to do this. XGY, it's on XGY, so we need to XYG minus Y. It's not going to work proper, so what we can do is select, go to our component mode, and okay, I think let's leave the way it is. G G G G G G hit En. It's not working properly, I think. Okay, let's leave the way it is. It is going to work perfectly for us, and let's display one of its local rotation axis, so it's G facing upward, and let's display its LRA. I think up here we have got a little problem, so LRA, skeleton, current join. Okay, now up here I think we have got a little problem. Okay, I think it looks similar, so let's go to the up here, display its LRA, and hit. So what is okay, all the LRA are looking perfect except this one, so let's display its LRA too. I think G, it's going Y up and down, so what we need to do is put this in Y up and down. When it is in G axis, it's supposed to move downwards, and in minus G it's looking upwards. Now it's perfect. Let's close it and hide its LRA, and let's go up, hide its LRA, and hide its LRA, and I think we are finished up with the local rotation axis. Let's rename the joint, so select the leg joint and rename it BOY 01 underscore HIP hip 01 underscore, I think let's put a prefix up here, L underscore hip 01 underscore. I put JJ for the joint which I am going to bound, so JJ for, I think, okay, Control C, Control V, knee 01 JJ, Control C, Control V, knee 02 JJ, Control V, ankle, 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 Control V, BALL, ball, and finally TOE, toe. And for this time I am going to use JE because it's not going to bound with the geometry. It is not a joint which is going to be scanned. So let's go and rename this joint. Okay, so it's going to be Control V, ARM arm 01 JJ, Control V, PLBO W elbow 01 JZ, Control V elbow 02 JZ, Control V. It's going to be wrist, WRIST wrist, and it's going to be PLM palm, and it's going to be JE. It is also not going to be bound. So for this we're going to go and create VIS pelvis. Okay, let's come to pelvis. So let's VIS pelvis 01 JZ and Control V. Okay, Control C, Control V, pelvis 02, and it is going to be J because it's not going to be bound. So the left is soldier, so what we are going to be L underscore SH LD soldier. For pelvis I am going to use C because it's in a center. So okay, for soldier I think Control C, Control V, soldier JE, and use according to the name. I am going to rename and come up in the next chapter and finish, just create some joints for our fingers also. So let's meet on another chapter.